Hey Clint,
Yeah,
welcome to Show Me Your Things.
of course. I'd love to show you my things.
Would you like to introduce yourself in as much detail as you desire?
Sure. My name is Clint Worthington, and this is my beautiful quarantine unkempt hair because I haven't got a haircut in 4 or 5 months. I am a film and TV critic. You can find my work at Consequence of Sound. I also run my own website, The Spool, and you can find headlines yeah, at Vulture, StarTrek.com. I'm about to have a piece run at RogerEbert.com. All kinds of fun things, and yeah, just all around film critic Gadfly.
That's fantastic. And what
Yeah.
category of thing have you elected to show off today?
I've chosen to show off a category. I've chosen to show off an object that is sort of unexpectedly important to me, and it is actually. At first, I thought about showing off my giant wall of criterions, but A, that would be too in depth, and B, my wife is in the living room right now watching The Floor is Lava, so I figured I would spare her that. But I'm going to show off my medals from the 5Ks that I ran
The Santa
last year.
Hustle.
The Santa Hustle, the Candy Run, and I will show you an abortive fourth one real quick from one that I was going to run before COVID, but they went ahead and like sent me the stuff, and you're just supposed to do it virtually. I didn't end up doing it, so this is kind of stolen valor.
Well,
And I know, but I guess the reason that I wanted to show these off were I've never generally been like a person who gets in shape or like is active, and that is especially so during quarantine and COVID and stuff. I was like, I don't feel super comfortable running outside, but I got into running like a couple of years ago, and only like is sort of off and on. But my closest brush with actually doing it with any regularity was last year, and I would like run 3 times a week. I did sort of the couch to 5K thing, and it was really fun. And I decided to put my money where my mouth
and
was,
you did a
or my legs
5K.
were. Yeah, I did several 5Ks. So my first one was the Stan's Donuts 5K, um,
Oh, that's
which
cute.
these are all run by the same company. They do it in Chicago and elsewhere, where they like you pay a fee basically, and you're basically buying the merch they give you, but you get the nice sort of heavy metal finishing metal,
And it
and
makes you feel good
you know
about
you
running a bunch as opposed to like normally when you run a bunch, nobody gives you an award.
exactly, and you get donuts at the end of this one, and
Oh,
you're basically like running for candy is another one. Like I did the candy dash after that. So you just got like, and at various points throughout the thing, for both the donut run and the candy run, you get like little mini donuts in the donut run, like at certain markers, and you got like little bits of candy you'd have to like shove in your pockets,
oh,
or
jeez.
the fanny pack they gave you, which I didn't wear,
Hey,
but
it's not a
it was
5K
fine.
till you're wearing a fanny pack, Clint.
It's true in ultimate fashion. So there's those, and then I did the Santa Hustle in December, which just involved. It was funny, like the conceit is like, oh, all the bunch of runners running with like Santa hats and beards. By the time I got to the merch pickup stuff, they didn't have any beards anymore. So I was like, well, that was a waste of my time. But not really, because I guess that was just sort of a thing that I enjoyed doing last year, and I really miss is just sort of like the sort of zen of, as someone who's generally inactive and whose work involves sitting in a dark room or sitting in front of my laptop. It was really good to like actually incentivize myself to be active and to sort of like start to get fit. And so that was really cool. It was really, I mean, it was never like easy, but I had gotten to a point where the 5K itself was like a decent little like stepping stone. I feel like I could have done it easily, and I'm also kind of like looking forward to and dreading starting back up again, because I know I'm going to have to start from scratch, because I feel like my body has atrophied like Neo when he first wakes up in the Matrix.
So, question about these 5Ks. I noticed they're
Yeah.
all aggressively themed. Is this the
Yes.
norm, or do you just have a preference for aggressively themed 5Ks?
I think the answer is both. Where I think in order to draw a lot of like non-runners to these, you have the gimmicks where it's like, because whenever I would run, like I'm not a great runner, and B, I have aggressively short legs. I'm basically like a ball. I have like little toddler legs. Like if I storm off, it looks like a toddler. Um, so I'm never gonna have like a great time. Like I mean, I have a great time, but not like a great lap time. So I think the most I've run is maybe like between like probably 8.5. minute mile, which is not bad considering how tiny my legs are. But a lot of other people go, people of all ages and sizes, like people bring their kids. And so it's nice to have like a fun sort of themed event to do it. Because also, again, like I said, at certain markers, they give you little donuts and you can look forward to like something sweet at the end. And my wife, Julia, and I would have a ritual where on our way back, because they usually are at like Soldier Field or Lincoln Park or something, on our way back we would go to the Golden Nugget on Lawrence, and we would just sort of like have our post run breakfast. And I miss that sort of part of the ritual. But to answer your question, also my cat is here, so she may jump up on the table at some point. Another one of my favorite things.
I hope I
But
get
to
to
answer
see
your
that.
question, yeah, I know, right? But to answer your question, yeah, it's I love the goofy themed events, of course, and it's a fun excuse to like get fancy medals. I think like I threw away all the merch, but like it's fun to like feel like I accomplished something. I need to find a way to like hang these up.
Do you ever wear
But
them?
yeah, there's also I sometimes when I'm in a particularly dour mood. Um, but I don't know. There's just sort of a sense of accomplishment that I get to feel in like completing a 5K and telling myself that you lazy son of a bitch, you did it. And it's something I hope to get back to.
Do you see yourself ever doing like a 10K or a marathon?
I think it would depend. I think I really need to build a baseline back up of running and being able to do that. I mean, when I was in top form or the toppest form that I could do, I could do a 5K in generally like 35 to 36 minutes. And I think my cat is scratching various things right now, if you can hear that. Um, so I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but I think it would take a lot more. Like I need to build a lot more confidence and build that baseline, like I said, back up of where I could feel I can do a 5K comfortably enough that I can do another one on top of it and not want to just die.
Well, hey, there's donuts at the finish line.
Yeah, exactly. There is a weird like rush, like a sense of accomplishment. I don't know how valid the runner's high myth is, but like there is a sense of like victory you feel like once you're finally like across that finish line and you sort of like you get to walk down, there's people cheering for you, you get to pick up a boxed water, you get to pick up a banana, a little Cliff Bar, and I'm like, I feel like I did something like cool. I don't know.
Like these people saw you and like they're cheering you on, even if they're not really cheering you on. They're
Right.
cheering the general concept of someone running 5K on.
Right, right. And it's also nice to like, I vacillate between listening to podcasts and listening to like music and stuff. I think when I started doing like actual 5Ks, I switched from podcasts to music because I realized the principle of me listening to podcasts is to completely zone out of what I'm doing and just like follow a conversation. But with music, you can set a pace, you can actually like amp yourself up. So I would like listen to sort of like I would listen to like the Spider-Verse soundtrack and stuff. Like that
Oh,
kind of
that's
stuff
so
was really
good.
fun. Yeah, like I think Sunflower was actually like playing one of the times I crossed the finish line or whatever. So it was fun. So I mean, it's interesting to sort of think about the ritual of it. Getting suited up, getting in your shorts, getting the headphones on, picking out the playlist and stuff like that. I would make a playlist for each new 5K, and so yeah, I think there's just something to the ritual about it too that's also really fun that I miss and want to get back to.
Did you match the playlist to the theme of the 5K?
I think sometimes I did. I think maybe I had some Christmas stuff for the Santa hustle, but I don't remember offhand. But generally it would be like, because for a hot second when I realized that music worked, I would get into the habit of trying to listen to a new album every time, like just whenever there's a new one. So I think that's how I listened to like the new Taylor Swift and that kind of stuff. I like all kinds of new music that was coming out because I also one of my main outlets is for a music site. I write film reviews for a music site, so I use their reviews as a metric for like what's new and good. So I'll just add that. Um, so yeah, I try to like vary that stuff. It's interesting. A few months ago, I read Peter Sagal's book called The Incomplete Book of Running, where he chronicles his attempts to get into running in middle age,
I wouldn't have
and
taken him as a runner.
apparently he is. He was in Boston when the Boston bombings happened, and like the opening of the book is about how he was because he likes to run. Um, assisting somebody like assisting like a blind person who's running and sort of like off being a spotter
Cool.
for them, and basically like in order like he had to stop or like I think he had to push farther to get somewhere, and basically if he hadn't done that he would have been in the blast radius.
Oh.
Very wild stuff. Yeah. But one of his major principles that I'm still sort of like thinking about is he's like, don't listen to anything. Don't have headphones on when you're running. It's a distraction. You have to live and sit in the pain and procedure of it. Like we are plugged into media at all times and in all days. You have to have some sort of space to like actually think and be alone with your thoughts. And I'm wondering if maybe there's room for that, like whenever I pick it back up again, of like not worrying about putting the earbuds in, especially since I got those like earbuds that are just like fit in your ear, and I'm always terrified that they're gonna like
Oh yeah, you're gonna lose
rumble out.
those.
Yeah, they're gonna pop out. I used to have a pair that had just like Bluetooth headphones that had like the little string connecting them at least, but my cat 100% chewed through that near the beginning of quarantine. So those are kaput.
All right, so let's wrap this up. Do you have a category of thing that you want the next person to show off?
Yeah, I think the next person I want them to show off something that they still have from childhood, like an object that, or at least like from the like the oldest thing they have, from like from their younger years, if they still have anything like that, and sort of what it means to them.
I like that a lot. I'm gonna add that to the list. I say as if
Awesome.
I were ever gonna not add something. That's good.
Right, right.
All right,
Excellent.
take care, Clint.
Yeah, thanks. It was really good to talk to you again. I miss our Netrunner days.